You want to do the honors?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's bring on the top-ranked senior in the state of New Jersey, Miss Mikayla Blakes out of Rutgers Prep. Marcus, we absolutely must, at all costs, no matter what it takes, we must protect our queen, Mikayla Blakes. My Lord. This one, Marcus, I'm telling you, bro, this one is different. This one is different. What's up, Mikayla? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. So glad to have you here. Mikayla, let me ask you something that I know this about you. I don't want to say I've heard it about you because that sounds like a rumor. I think this is, I'm pretty sure I know this to be true, but I'm so interested. I've always wanted to ask you this because I've known this for a few years now. Because, you know, I know people that you know. I know people you go to school with. So I know a couple things about you, girl. Is it true that you want to be a medical doctor or a surgeon or something? To tell us about that.
Yeah, it's true. I think just growing up, my grandma, she was a neonatal NICU nurse, and then 2 aunts who are in the medical field. So I guess this passion just grew from them, and then watching Grey's Anatomy. So
Grey's Anatomy, Meredith Grey. Mikayla, I don't watch, but my brother is obsessed with Grey's Anatomy. So
it's a great show, Martin. If you don't watch Grey's Anatomy,
I know you haven't watched. You watched the whole thing, Marcus?
I've watched every second of it. This is the second time on the show that our guest has had something in common with me and not with you.
You don't watch Grey's Anatomy, dog. No, you don't.
I've watched every
season. There's like 13 seasons.
There's more than 13 seasons, and I've watched every single one of them. Yeah, absolutely. What's wrong with you?
Mikayla, you've seen every episode?
I've seen majority of them. I'm about to finish. So
it's a great show. Mark.
You said your grandmother was what kind of nurse? Say that again.
A neonatal NICU nurse.
What would it, Lord? Mikayla, you got, please just, Marcus might know. I don't know if Marcus knows.
I do.
Down here, please. What is that?
She used to work in the NICU where babies go when they're born like prematurely, and they need extra help. So she helped like save those type of babies.
Oh, okay. Wow, that is amazing. And are you want to be that kind of nurse as well?
I don't think so. Not that type. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay, but medical field for sure. Yes. Wow, that is amazing, girl. That is amazing.
Thank you.
When we were putting the show together the other day, we were trying to think of things to ask you. And Martin casually dropped in our conversation that you wanted to be a doctor. And I was stuck because I was trying to figure out how someone this good at basketball, like, doesn't even want to play. Like, you're this good at basketball, and it's really just like the side hustle for you. Like, where did the interest in basketball come from? And then how did you get so good at basketball at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it took me a minute just to really figure out that I wanted to do basketball. At first, I did dance competitively for about 8 years. Then I switched to track. And then I think in around 6th grade, watched my brother play a lot. My dad was a JV coach, and I said, I want to try basketball. So they made sure it was my decision and not just because I'm surrounded by basketball players. So then once it became my decision, I realized I wasn't where I wanted to be. And so I just continued to get in the gym with my brother, and he's a major inspiration to me. So just watching how hard he works and just trying to replicate that so I can be the best player I can be.
Wow. Competitive dance. You did that for 8 years, you said?
Yes.
And you stopped because you just wanted to go all in on basketball.
Yeah, I wanted to go all in track first and then switch to basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
What events did you run when you were track?
I did the 800 and 400 and 1500 a couple of times.
I could see you running, girl, because you are a runner. I don't know if you know, you on the court too. You run. I know coaches love them some Mikayla, because you run, girl. You work. Wow, that is fascinating. So I saw you play at the Nike World Basketball Festival. Yes. What was that like? Tell us a little bit about that.
That was just an amazing experience, just to see how much weight Nike holds and just all the players that are involved with Nike in high school, college, and in the pros. So I think that was just amazing for me to see, and just to be on that platform to play in front of them. And then just to play in New York at the Lincoln Center was awesome.
So you mentioned that your brother plays basketball. Your dad was a JV coach. I just like to know these things. I think these questions like this are kind of interesting. Have you ever beaten your brother or dad in a game of basketball, or do you think that you could if you haven't?
I've always beaten dad, so dad has
always?
always. Okay, yeah, and then
always like Mikayla. You mean like
Martin? That's light work. You said what she's answering. That's light work, bro. Dad's light work.
Like maybe one game of force, but like besides that, if it's one-on-one, it's wraps. Yeah.
It's wraps.
It's a game of horse, Lord. What, but Mikayla, you said you had to get better. You said yourself you had to get better. So your pops could never get you.
I mean, I was just like a defender. So like as long as I kept him in front of me, and then my speed was just so quick that I just like one rip through, I'm right there.
That's a mess. I want to talk about that. So I do want to talk basketball with you. The medical stuff is like I have no medical background, even experience, or even interest. No offense. I just, I mean, well, now I do my breathing and stuff, so that's as medical as I get. So yeah, Marcus, stop it. You don't know what you're doing. I do want to talk basketball though. We need to talk some basketball. So you mentioned, because I've always loved your game. You've always been super active. Like you said, you were a defender at first, and I was still kind of figuring out your game offensively. It looked like you kind of were too. So talk to us a little bit about offensively, what you've been working on and how you've been kind of finding your identity as a player.
Yeah, I think I've always just been able to get downhill. So I've sort of prided myself on that. And I'm just a person who doesn't really like to take too many dribbles to get by my defender. It's normally like 2 moves and going past. And then recently, like ever since I started my high school career, I've developed more of a 3-point game. Just going to Coach Carey and Coach Trev and Coach D-Lam, all of my trainers, they've just told me that I have to be a 3-level scorer in order to be one of the best. So just getting thousands of reps just from the 3-point line and mid-range and all of that. And then I'd say now I'm working on more ball screen reads and doing stuff like that, and just continuing to be a leader for my team this year.
Marcus, before you go, Mikayla, I'm just so proud of how you blossomed as I'm an offense guy. I mean, I play defense, I can do, but I'm just so proud of how you blossom, because you're just blossoming offensively. So just keep doing what you're doing, girl, because it's wonderful to watch. It's wonderful. I love scores, Marcus. I love scores.
Hey, Martin loves himself a good score.
I'm biased, I can't help it,
Yeah, no, I'm actually keeping, and I don't want to spoil this, maybe I shouldn't say, but I'm keeping a track of my head for when Martin says if he could do what you could do, he wouldn't be able to shut up. So then I can say he can't shut up anyway, because he's done it twice now. So I'm just waiting for it to come at some point in the show. But you talked about your dad. You talked about your brother, obviously, and how you've been able to grow in your game. Are there specific players on the men's side or the women's side that you've tried to pull things from their game to apply to your game, especially if you've been trying to grow and blossom on the offensive side of things?
I think just going to grip basketball and playing against Diamond Miller, Olivia Miles, Bryn Farrell, Mia Yanagacio. So I think all of those players, they've helped me sort of grow my game, and just taking a couple moves from them and adding it to my game. And then I just love watching film. So I think for me, I think I watch a lot more college basketball than I do like the pros, but I've just been heavily involved just watching Chelsea Gray since last year. And Skylar Diggins-Smith has always been one of my favorites, so I just always watch her as well.
Nice. Yeah. Marcus, she trains with, shout out to my guy, Carey, man. She trains with the same trainer who trains Diamond Miller. So she's been in the gym with hitters, and she is a hitter as well. So, that's the kind of environment she's used to. Yeah. Speaking of which, Mikayla, and I know you take the defensive end very seriously as well. Who are some of the toughest players you've had to guard? And I'm talking pick up in the gym, training, games, at all. Just you can give them some flowers right here. But who are the toughest girls you've had to guard in your career?
Definitely say just going against Diamond and Olivia Miles. They're definitely very tough. And then more on the circuit, I think playing Aaliyah Chavez, Maddie McDaniel. Say those two definitely were very shifty. And then also Kiyomi, very shifty with the ball, and definitely made me work on defense. So
what was tough? give us an example of stuff that you had to like figure out guarding them?
I think just figuring out how to defend ball screens because they use quite a few of those. And then I think just continuing to stay in front and beating my offensive player to the spot, I think definitely, so I didn't have a bailout with a foul.
This girl's quick, Marcus. She's quick. She got that lightning. She'll just run up on you. Like, it's just crazy.
Well, she ran track. So I mean, that makes sense. that checks that box. Let's talk about like a game day for you. When you step onto the court, do you have a pregame ritual? Like is there a specific artist or specific music that you like to listen to get you into? What does game day look like for Mikayla Blakes?
I think for me, I always pray before a game. And then for my music, I can't listen to music that's too hyper or else I get like overrush. So I think a little bit of rap mixed with a little bit of like some slower R&B. And then occasionally I'll play a little bit of old school just because my dad, like every time going to AAU games, he always put his songs on. So yeah.
That like gets you in the, well, give us an example of an old school thing that you know. Who do you put on?
Yeah, he always puts on Cool in the Gang. So always them. And then he plays a little bit of the Temptations, even though that's a little slower. He always gets me with that one.
That's different.
That's good stuff.
That's great tap-ins before a game. That's great tap-ins before a game.
That's good stuff.
That's different. What about talk to us a little bit more about Jalen. What are some things that you've picked up and learned from watching him and working out with him, which I'm sure you've done plenty of?
Yeah, I mean, he's just the hardest worker I know. Even at college, he's in the gym at least 3 times a day. And then he's just so positive and so humble. He's overcame like a lot of adversity. So I'm just watching how he's grown and matured himself and just sort of not changed his game, but he adapted his game to go against NBA guys. Like his freshman year, there were 5 NBA guys on his team at Duke. So he just really had to figure out how to get past some people. And he's just so hardworking that it just feeds off on all of us, my mom, my dad, and I. And we love him. We just love him, being around him, and his personality.
I want to go back real quick to, you said yourself thousands of reps, and that's a real, I don't know if people understand that. It adds up. It's literally thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds. If you really do the math, it's really crazy. Just talk some about like that lifestyle, just the work. I know you're kind of in it and it's kind of second nature to you now, but even if you could take yourself back to like, I don't know, freshman, sophomore year, or like when you were starting to learn how to really work at a high level, like just talk about what that mentality and lifestyle is like.
I think for me, I really learned how much I had to work my freshman, sophomore year. Freshman was a little bit harder due to COVID, but then when sophomore hit and we had a lot of seniors leave, I realized that I would sort of be the team and that I need to make myself better in order to push my teammates in practice. So ever since then, my dad and I started getting up to go to Rutgers Prep to shoot in the morning at around 6:15 a.m., I think 3 times a week. So we still do that. And then we do strength and conditioning Tuesday and Thursdays at 6:15. And then I did do cross country, so to keep in shape my sophomore year, and I'm doing it a little bit this year. Yeah.
At Rutgers Prep?
Yeah, I am.
I mean this in a good way, but you're a psycho, girl. What's wrong with you? You're on the team?
Yeah, this year it's tougher for me to make meets, but yeah, doing some practice.
How does cleaner let that happen? How do they even allow that? Just do what you want, huh?
I just, as someone that used to run cross country, I would agree. I'd say you're a psycho. That's too much running for me personally. And I enjoy running. I think running's great, but not in a cross country setting. Not in a cross country setting. I like to have fun. Martin likes to have fun. I assume, Mikayla, you also like to have fun. Martin pitched this to me. This is all Martin's idea. If this goes bad, it's Martin's fault. If it goes well, I'm the reason Protect Our Queens exists on the network, so I'm going to take credit for it because that's why I do things. We do want to play a game with you, very quick before we keep going. We do want to play a game with you. Your name obviously starts with an M. So what we would like for you to attempt to do is to name as many players as you can, as many basketball players as you can, whose name start with the letter M. Martin, do you want to set up the clock, or do you want me to?
I'll set up the clock. I'll keep the timer. What are we giving her? 30 seconds? Are we doing that?
Yeah, 30 seconds should be. 30 seconds should be good. 30 seconds.
All right, as many as she can in 30 seconds.
Many as you can in 30 seconds. Players whose names
start with M.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, ready? 3, 2. Oh, Marcus, you keeping the tally of how many she said?
I will keep tally. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Maya Moore, Michael Jordan, Marina Mabry, Marcus Smart, Mikayla Onyenwere. Oh my goodness, this is hard. Monroe Blakes.
That's your mom?
Was Mary? No, my dad.
Oh, your dad.
Because Mary Klinger. This is hard.
All right, time's up.
Okay.
Time's up.
Yeah, that was good.
I'll take that.
That was all right. That was all right.
That was good. I don't know if I could name more than 7 in 30 seconds. I'm not going to try, but that was. I'd say that's good. I'd say 7 names in 30 seconds.
You could have started with Mikayla Blakes.
Yeah.
You look so disappointed. You know what? I have to look.
I thought she was going to say it.
You could have said Martin Sories too.
Oh yeah.
I guess that would count. Yeah,
that's what I would have said. Yeah.
Your dad's name is Monroe.
Yes.
Okay, Monroe. Right. Okay. Yeah. So Mikayla, tell us something that we're not getting all the way in your business, but just tell us something that I get the sense that people don't get to know much about you. You seem pretty to yourself, pretty private. And again, I'm not getting all in your business. You don't have to spill the beans, but tell us one thing that most people who don't know you or who do know you, but don't know you that well, that they wouldn't know about you.
Okay. I know some people who know me know I love photography. I started that in high school, and then I don't know. Some people don't know that my dream vacation is to Greece. So
okay,
specific city, specific place you want to go in?
Santorini, Greece. Rick Ross got his whole song about it.
That's such a Martin Sories comment.
No, it's a Rick Ross comment.
Is there a reason why Greece is the dream spot for you?
I think I love sunsets so much, and then just seeing my Instagram and all over my TikTok, just the sunsets that get over there is beautiful, and the water is really blue. So
the water is very blue over there. I don't know if the water is blue in Jersey, but I can tell you the water is not blue in DC. I can say that much.
Have you been out of the country yet, Mikayla?
I have. I've been to Aruba and Jamaica and Spain.
Oh, wonderful.
Aruba and Jamaica and Spain. I haven't been to California yet, right? And she's been to 3 countries. I feel so left out.
Don't do that. We got to talk, Mikayla, a little bit. Just give us an update on what's going on with college. I know you've been on visits and all that, but give us a sense of what you're looking for and just where you're at. We know you have your top 7 out right now. So what's the latest on that?
Yeah, every weekend, I think until November, we've been on college visits to different colleges, and then just really trying to get that second time around feel, because we took quite a few unofficials to these schools. So just seeing out feels the second time, just continuing to see the coaches' visions and plans for the team and for me, not especially on the court, but also off the court, as I do want to be in the medical field. And then just academics is really high in the community field.
Just out of curiosity, because you brought it up again, do you have a favorite and or least favorite character from Grey's Anatomy at this point?
I think I love Christina Yang. And then my least favorite, I don't really know if I'd say I have a least favorite, because they're all like sort of all do something different that makes me like them. So I don't know.
No, that's good. Christina's my favorite too. So at least I know you've got good taste in Grey's Anatomy's characters. That's good. You've kind of done this already, but we've asked every guest this at this point, so we want to, of course, ask you this as well. Who would you say are your top 5 queens in the world of basketball at this point? Player, coaches, media personality, social media personality, just whatever. Who are your top 5 queens?
In the basketball field would definitely be Coach Mary. And then probably Skylar Dickens, like I said before. I love watching her. Also probably give it to Asia Wilson, just because of how powerful she is and how she turned South Carolina around. That's a good question. They're in the basketball field? Okay.
Yeah, let's do basketball, and then we'll do non-basketball, just anyone.
Okay. Then I'd also say Maya Moore, just the change she brings to the world. And then my 5th one probably be, I'd say Coach Talon, my AAU coach this past year.
Philly Rise?
Yes.
Right. Wow, that's a good 5. That's a good 5. So give us a 5, your top 5 queens off the court that inspire you, motivate you, give you that energy that you need, you know, family, friends, anyone, people, authors, anyone.
Yeah, I'd give my mom, of course, my grandma, just because, especially like over these past 8 years, we built such a great bond because she has dementia. So definitely her. My other grandmother, Lorraine, I never got to meet her, but she's just very influential in our family. I'd also say, I don't know, I love Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige.
She's like her music and then watching her on.
She's great, bro. Great. Hey, great, and she's going down, and she's great.
And then I think my 5th one would probably be. I'd give it to my aunt.
She's a legend.
That's being respectful, Martin. Why we? What's up with Mary J. Blige, bro?
I can't. I'm not gonna go in. This isn't a music show. I'm not.
Mary J. Blige.
Nothing. She's a legend. I just said she's a legend, bro. Just drop it. I just can't believe the girl just said Mary J. Blige.
He's gonna get into it after the show.
Go Mary. Go Mary. Go Mary. Lord Jesus.
That's good. That's good.
I did not see that coming. I got you. I think you have one more. Did she have one more? Did I ruin it?
You said her aunt. You said your aunt.
Yeah, my aunt Adrienne.
Your aunt.
Good. I think that's a great 5 either way. I think we've got 2 great 5s. Martin,
we got 10. We got 10 queens in that. We got 10
queens in there. We got 10 queens in there. Before we go, Mikayla, is there anything else that you want to say? Any last parting words, whether it's about yourself, basketball, is anything that you want to say before we wrap up for the night?
I don't know. I'd say maybe it might take you like a minute to find your sport that you really love. But I mean, for me, what helped me just become the player I am today is that I just didn't feel any pressure. So I think just doing what you love without worrying about what other people say, and just continuing to work hard, it'll definitely take you a long way.
That's a great piece of advice.
That is lovely, Mikayla. Thank you so much for that. We are so glad to have had you here. I am gonna do something. I'm gonna propose something. You don't have to say yes or no now. I'm just gonna offer this to you as a proposal in case you want to do it. When you do know where you want to go to school, we would like to offer you to come back on the show and announce where you want to go. Now, this girl is high stock, you know, she ain't just anybody. So she could do this any which way she wants to. So, and we know that, Mikayla. So, you know, don't think that we're naive. But if you feel led to do it a different way and just come through and let us be the first ones to know, because Lord knows we want to know. I need to know. Marcus, there's people in California, Indiana, where else? I think Florida, but they all over the country that want to know where this girl is going. In New Jersey, of course, mainly me. So, Mikayla, I just say that to say that's an open invitation. if you want to do it, we will be here. And even if it's not for that, anything else, it's an open invitation for you to come on the show anytime you'd like to.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to come back to talk basketball, to talk Mary J. Blige, to talk Grey's Anatomy, whatever you want. The door of Protect Our Queens is open for you in any way that you see fit. We are here, and you can come back. I personally am voting for Mary J. Blige because it just annoys Martin so much, and that's something I try to do as much as possible. But whatever you want to come back to talk about, you are more than welcome to come back to talk about. Really quickly before we go, do you by chance have a pick on who is going to win the finals this year?
I honestly think the Aces are going to do it back to back. I do. I really think yeah.
Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson. She already said 2 aces. She's named 2 players already.
You don't have to be upset, Martin, that you didn't pick the Liberty.
I'm not upset. I'm just, I like, me and Mikayla have a good thing going on. We're on the same page on a lot of things. And when
except for Mary J.
and when she starts to veer off, I get a little worried.
It's okay. It's okay. Look, there's nothing wrong with agreeing with Marcus on certain things. I'm a nice human, Martin.
You are.
Thank you. I appreciate it.